Joining BYU now, I called him Captain Efficiency today. Anson Winder, who continues to impress. Anson, welcome back to BYU Sports Nation.
Thanks for having me, guys.
How are you feeling after the triumphant trip to Logan?
It feels good. We knew going into a hostile environment like that it was going to be tough to get a win, but we were able to pull it out. So it's a good feeling to, learn from a win like that.
We walked by the locker room. It's right by the media room, so we could hear you guys going nuts. What was that like in the locker room when first you celebrate as a team, and then Ty comes in after his interview?
Yeah, so it was complete pandemonium especially when Tyler and Coach came in. We just went crazy because we know it was, it's been since 2000 since we won there, and I hadn't won there yet since I've been at BYU. So to go there and get a tough win like that, it was a great feeling. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more than that.
You chucking water bottles? Like, what do you do? How do you celebrate? Jump around?
A lot of jumping and screaming.
Yeah,
a lot of pushing and shoving too. It's almost like a rave.
Is Nate Austin like drawing a charge in that situation?
Yeah, he's getting a foul. Yeah, for sure.
We saw Bronco crowd surfing at Cal on Saturday after they beat the Bears. Has Dave Rose ever had a moment where he's crowd surfed in the basketball locker room?
Maybe not a crowd surf, but he'll jump on guys, and it's your job to make sure you don't drop Coach. So that's how it goes.
Terry Nashif would be a little easier to lift up.
Yeah, exactly.
Anson Winder with us on BYU Sports Nation, celebrating a 10-point win over Utah State in Logan last night. And I'm calling you Captain Efficiency because, one, you're shooting over 50% from the three-point line, but it seems like when you're in the game, Ants, there's just this new energy that's brought to the floor, and that's a tribute to you. Your coaches and your teammates would all agree with me. You're playing 9 more minutes. You're averaging 8 more points per game. What's changed for you in your approach of the game as a senior?
I think it's just the confidence going into this year. I've tried my hardest to really pick up where I left off last year as far as energy and playing style, and I've tried to carry that over to this year. And I think just embracing that role of coming off the bench and just trying to be a spark every game, and whatever the team needs, hopefully to contribute in that sense, is just what I try to bring every day. My
favorite play from the game was when you went up and acrobatically made a layup, ducking under Jalen Moore to lay it in. Walk us through that play.
First off, Jalen Moore is extremely long.
With the fro, too.
Yeah, with the fro.
Yeah.
7'2" with the fro.
Yeah, so I knew going up, because they're such an athletic team and they block shots pretty well. So I knew I'd have to find a way to get it off instead of just going straight up as a normal layup as I might usually do. I had to do a little something different. I was able to scoop it in, and it was I think a crucial time in the game too, because we were kind of getting more transition points, and
they got tired.
Yeah, we were kind of wearing them down, which we hope to do towards every second half is slowly just wear teams down. So I think that was just one of the many plays that we made down the stretch that kind of helped us get over the top.
When the season began, we wondered, one, how Kyle's knee would be, but we knew that his game is attacking the rim. But now you have joined him in that category of like, oh no, I'm going hard to the hole, and you're not going to stop me, and I'm going to score. It looks like you're more athletic and more fierce at the rim. Was that like a conscientious change for you going into this season?
Yeah, I think getting points around the rim helps a ton, especially with the confidence of shooting more outside shots as well. And I think one thing that me and Kyle have kind of embraced is just attacking to get shots for other guys. I think with our offense and our passing this year, we've been creating more shots for each other, and just the fact that we can get in the lane and create shots for Chase and Ty and Skylar and our bigs as well is, that's just another aspect of our team that can really help us, as we go on throughout the year.
That second half, you go into the Utah State student section. What was that experience like?
It's like going into the jungle. They're not nice to you down there. So, but I mean, it was. We thought it was kind of a dirty play. And
you're talking about when Ty gets pulled down?
Yeah, when Ty gets pulled down, and emotions were flying high. So, just first reaction was just to get in there and help Ty out, and yeah, definitely heard it from the fans. That's for sure.
I loved that though, because it was like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that to my guy.
Yeah, well, especially there too. With that mindset, it's really you guys against the 10,000 fans they had, and then the other team. So. In that sense, a hostile environment like that, we have to have each other's back, and it's just what we do. It's just first instinct.
Originally, you got a technical, and then that was changed to Tyler Haas. Where you're like, "What did I do?"
Yeah, that's the funny part about it, because I was accepting the tech. I was embracing it, and they go and look at the monitor and they give 2 techs to JoJo and Tyler, so it was pretty funny. But hey, we'll take it because it kind of got us fired up, and that might have been the spark that we needed.
Did you get away with one, Anson, there?
Yeah, I did. Definitely snuck away with it. And I hadn't got a technical before, so I was excited to get that first one, but hey, they took it away from me.
You want one this season?
I need one before I get out of BYU, right?
There was one play where you drew a charge on the right wing, on the right side of the screen, I guess, for the TV viewers. And it's right in front of all the students, and there's some kid, and he's 6 inches from your head, pointing at it. I'm sure yelling obscenities. But can you hear it, or do you zone it out? Is it a mix? What is it?
I think as a whole, we try our best to zone it out. You hear certain things, but as a whole, it's just so loud in there. It's hard to understand one specific thing. So, there's times.
Even when that kid is that close?
Yeah, even when he's that close, it's just kind of like you hear everyone just kind of roaring, and you just, try and get through to the next play as best as you can.
They are very clever. I heard one kid going, "You're 0 for December! Keep shooting!"
Yeah, their fans are definitely creative. They're good in that aspect, that's for sure.
The best thing, the most creative, funny thing that I heard that I can say on BYU TV and BYU Radio was Skylar Halford. Hey, Schmeagle! I was like, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
Hey, but give him credit, though. When Skylar stepped up at the free throw line and they're chanting, Aggie reject.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's right, I am. I want to be at BYU.
Exactly.
And then he made both free throws. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I think as a whole, down the stretch, we made free throws, and that kind of helped us get over that hump towards the end, especially Kyle. He didn't miss last night. Tyler, I think he only missed one. Skylar, he made all his free throws, and I think that just kind of helped us, lead that charge towards the victory. And in a tough environment like that, it's pretty hard to hit free throws, but we were able to do it last night, so it definitely helped.
24 free throws made in a row. Were those all in the second half? All in the second half. That's amazing.
That's bonkers.
I think that you guys do a drill in practice, if I'm not mistaken, where you rotate and you try and see how many you can make.
Yeah, we're constantly. Through every break in practice, we're shooting free throws. That's the break. When you're dead tired, you get on the line and you make free throws, because that's a game-like situation where, you're exhausted, towards the end of a game, and you have to make free throws, because that could be the deciding factor, especially in close games.
Have you made 24 in that situation before? In a row? Do you get up that high?
There's certain days where we could get up to that number, but for the most part, to do what we did last night, I think that was pretty impressive, and we don't do that often.
Yeah, Corbin and Luke don't help you in that drill.
BYU had done it once before, made 24 consecutive in the same game. That was on the home floor back in 2004 against Santa Clara. To do that in Logan is just wild. So like you said, it's pretty special. Like, did you, when it was happening, did you realize just how special it was?
No, you kind of realize until the end. I think one of our keys to starting the game was to focus on the little things, and one of the ways we score is definitely in free throw shooting. So we knew we had to focus in even more because the great crowd that Utah State has, and we knew that'd be a key concept, is to focus on our free throws and hopefully knock them down when they're needed the most.
What do you prefer, a almost neutral site game at, say, Santa Clara or Pepperdine, or the hostile environment where maybe you're more focused because of those fans?
I definitely say the more hostile crowd, like Utah State. I think the process of going in and winning a game like that shows the character of your team and the fight that your team has to go out and win by any means. So to go there and get a win like that, especially it's a tough environment. Coach Morrow, rarely ever loses in non-conference home games there. So to go there and accomplish a feat like that is something that everyone wishes to do.
Coach Rose said that BYU basketball got better at the Maui Invitational, even though you lost 2 games. How do you feel you got better losing 2 overtime games in Hawaii?
I think we learned something about ourselves. We learned that we have the fight and the ability and the skill to keep up with some of these top teams. San Diego State was top 25 team, top 15 team now, and at one point in the game we had them. We were up 6. So that goes to show that we definitely have the fight and we have the mentality and the leadership to go the distance with these teams. And if we can bottle up that energy that we had and carry that throughout the year, it'll only turn into a learning situation. If that's the lowest point of our season, then we'll take it and we'll build from it.
Are you guys tired? You played 5 games in 8 days in Hawaii and Utah.
Surprisingly, no. I think the most tired was just coming back from Hawaii, traveling all day and the jet lag and getting back early Thanksgiving Day was, I mean, that kind of took a toll. But other than that, we do a good job. Coach does a good job of limiting the minutes we practice and making sure our bodies are fresh for each game. And Bob Medina and Rob Ramos, they keep us, in our best physical form as far as recuperating and just keeping our bodies strong. So I think we do a good job of maintaining what we have and just being smart. We don't, do excessive amounts of practicing and just try to play everything, the best way we can.
It's a player's dream, man.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
Let's play games. It needs practice.
Exactly.
Anson, your girlfriend Alexa Gray was named the West Coast Conference Women's Volleyball Player of the Year. She got off to kind of a weird slow start very early in the season, and then she just erupted to be the awesome volleyball player that we all kind of expected. What was the transition like helping her through the early season struggles and then watching her do what everyone knew she could do?
I think it's just a credit to her because, she was battling the ankle injury early on and she was able to get through that and, through the style, the way she was playing. I mean, she wasn't happy with her play, but mentally I think she did her best to stay positive and her teammates kept her upbeat. And, I think that's a credit to their team because they're such a close group. Even when I'm around them for those short amount of time, they love each other and, they've all bought into their system. And that's just a credit to, the success that they've had because it wouldn't be that way if they weren't so close, I think.
Is it Sweet 16 or bust for them since they did it without Jen Hampson? And now they have Jen Hampson?
I think
or is that too much pressure? Don't speak from her perspective. I'm saying from you.
For me, I'd say definitely that's the goal. You've been there the last 2 years. But I think they go in, with that mindset of, every game is their most important game of the year. And I think that's why they've been so successful. They take every game as if that's the biggest. And, they'll treat Seton Hall as if, that's a national championship game and that's the aspect they take. And I think that's why they'll be successful throughout this tournament.
That'd be quite the run if they can win both this week. 3 Sweet 16s in a row.
Yeah, it'd be big.
And then huge pressure on Alexa next year. Don't mess it up.
Anson Winder with us on BYU Sports Nation. BYU guard had 17 points last night in a 10-point win over Utah State. Anson, let's spin it forward a little bit now. You have Hawaii on Saturday. This December is shaping up to what we have called a December to remember. What do you think about the challenges that lie ahead, starting with Hawaii on Saturday, and then as the schedule gets that much more tough?
1 week.
It's exciting to know that December could be a great month for us. We have some of the top teams in the country coming in, and we're going to their places as well. And to have this schedule where you can really leave a lasting mark on your season, especially when it comes time for March, it's exciting to know that we can come in and really make some noise, especially in December, because it's a great month for some basketball.
Do you watch in your spare time Gonzaga? Have you seen them play?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you think?
They're huge. They're a really big team and athletic, and they score at a high level just like we do. So I think it will be an exciting game when it's time for us to play later in December. You can see why they're as good as they are, the seeding that they are as far as rankings go. They're fundamentally sound and they're disciplined, and they have a great coach in Mark Few. And, it'd be exciting to play a team like that because you want to play the best teams, and to have them the first game of conference, I wouldn't have it any other way.
And then some of these other big games are rematches from last year. It's interesting. So you have an idea of what you're going to get from Stanford, UMass, Utah, right?
Exactly, yeah. We're going to get a really sound and efficient Utah and Stanford team and even UMass coming here too. Those will be good games that that'll carry weight, especially in March, and really help our season out. Especially dropping a couple games in Maui, this will really boost the rest of our regular season.
Anson Winder shooting 51% from three-point line. Captain efficiency. We would like to deliver you some BYU Sports Nation karma for the game against Hawaii.
Nice.
Thank you. I need it. I appreciate that.
That means 20 points. I'm going to pull it. Your jersey number, man.
And it's great to talk to you, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me.